skies have cleared and the snow has melted here in the nation's capital. The scene is Shaw Field at Georgetown University. Dan Helfrich, Tom Greaser, and Tom, hard to imagine a quarterfinal matchup among two better teams.
Yeah, it's a rematch of the second round of last year where NC State came to Shaw Field and won 2-0. The stakes are bigger tonight, and while it's an Elite Eight game, these two teams could be playing for a national championship.
Tom, when the NCAA bracket came out, a lot of people calling this quarter the bracket of death, but a fairly comfortable road for both the Wolfpack and the Hoyas to get here.
NC State 2-0 victories at home, beating Marshall and UNCG. The Hoyas with also 2 goals in each game, but they conceded in the round of 16. But here they are. The stage is huge.
Star power all over Shaw Field today. And in red, the nation's second leading scorer,
Donovan Phillips, 17 goals this year. He's incredible in the air. He's great with his back to the goal, and he has the ability to score amazing goals like he did a year ago here at Shaw.
Meanwhile, Georgetown has 2 14-goal scorers, one of them the senior from Minnesota.
Yeah, and he also has 13 assists, which puts him 3rd in the country in total points. It's been a magical senior season for Zach Zenge. The freedom to go anywhere in the attack, set teammates up, or score absolute brilliant goals like he did in the last round.
Grab your popcorn and a favorite beverage. It's a big one today in the nation's capital. It's the Wolfpack. It's the Hoyas. It's next. Final of 4 quarterfinals this weekend on ESPN Plus. Dan Helfrich, Tom Greaser, two of the most dominant teams in the country, Tom.
Yeah, Georgetown leads the country in goals scored. NC State has conceded the fewest number of goals. What a matchup we have here at Shaw Field.
Last year, these teams played in round 2. A lot of the same players for NC State, including Markovich, Tom, who is the all-everything sophomore center back.
ACC Defensive Player of the Year, great size, really physical, and one of their preferred targets on restarts coming forward as well. It will be a heck of a matchup with Markovich and Baker.
And Logan Erb, the senior goalkeeper, also excellent. Meanwhile, for the Hoyas, the same lineup they trotted out there in the other NCAA tournament games. That back four, Tom, has been really steady.
Yeah, if it wasn't for NC State, that back four with Mansky in the back five would be one of the best defenses in the country. But it's an experienced group that has gotten healthy as the season has gone on.
And Georgetown typically goes from right to left in half one. But today, the Hoyas in the all-white kits will be moving left to right on your television screen. Stafford early looking for Zenge. Now Baker. Vieira and Helfrich combine. And Tom, the field's conditions, you and I walked the field at the beginning, talk to our audience about what you saw out there.
Yeah, the biggest issue is probably right where Helfrich is throwing the ball in right now on the touch lines on both sides. It's soft. We saw in the last match that Georgetown played here, several players losing their footing closer to the touch line. But the center of the field is really good and playable, and the goal mouths are both good as well.
This match originally scheduled to be played last evening as we look at Mark Hubbard, who I think was pleased with the change of the game. I think both coaches want this to be a proper display on the biggest stage in college soccer, and the conditions today better.
Yeah, and Coach Hubbard here in his second year. Last year got the Wolfpack to the Sweet 16. This year playing in an Elite Eight game. Just his second year coming down from New Hampshire.
And meanwhile, Brian Weiss in year 20.
And this is his 6th Elite Eight game in 20 years. 5 of them have been played right here at Shaw Field. The only one that wasn't was that weird 2020 season that was in the spring of 2021.
Good student crowd filing in. Stationed behind Logan Erb. And Tom, when you watch NC State on film, Erb's shot stopping stands out.
Yeah, he's the ACC goalkeeper of the year. So they have the offensive player of the year in Phillip, the defensive player of the year, and then this man, Logan Erb. And talking to Coach Hubbard, he really wants NC State to dictate possession. They're really good in transition, but he wants to control the ball. And then if they lose it in bad spots, understanding how to defend in transition. Georgetown loves getting wide play. And NC State will have to be focused on one of the right backs, and it looks like it's Helfrich in the first half that will be higher than Eric Howard.
Phillip looking for Condi. Lampman steps in front. Now Phillip outjumps Stafford. Condi in a dangerous area. Shot. Save. Big time save by Mansky as the Hoyas got caught in transition.
Yeah, and as the combination of the two strikers up top for NC State. And a good early save from Mansky.
Then on the other end, Zenge taken down. And an early caution. And it looks like it was Markovich, Tom. And you see some of the fans in the crowd signaling for a replay. It was actually Heffes.
Yeah, Heffes, the other center back for NC State. You take a look at, just catches Zenge from behind in a really difficult spot for Heffes to find himself in. 3 minutes into this matchup on a soft field, and Georgetown has several players that are shifty in the attack, and NC State's one of their center backs sitting on a yellow card.
But probably a good decision given a 2-on-1 emerging there. But on the other end of the field, Tom, what a save by Mansky and Howard there to pick up the rebound.
Yeah, and it's NC State has scored early in both of their other two tournament games.
It'll be Zenge to clip the ball in. Back post looking for Lampman. And it was Phillip who got to it first, and then Erb collects. Already end-to-end action.
Logan Erb has great command of his box. See here, wide restart.
And Tom, I think you're going to see that matchup, Phillip and Lampman in the air on both sides of the pitch today.
Yeah, we highlighted Markovich and Baker, but the Lampman-Phillip matchup just as good. Both players incredible in the air.
Ponce Campo behind Tommy. He'll cut inside. Mateo Ponce Campo finds Zenge, who's onside, and Heffes disrupts. But you can see both teams in transition early in a fun one.
Yeah, and the play of Ponce Campo for this Georgetown side the last month has been huge for the Hoyas. He's become a legitimate third match winner to go alongside Baker and Zenge. He was the Big East Tournament's offensive player of the tournament.
Eric Howard. Now Ponce Campo. Zenge leaves for Ponce Campo. Reverse ball as Ponce Campo chose the interior pass versus Helfrich to the right. Meanwhile, Phillip, a positive touch past Stafford. But Maroutsis comes back to challenge. Early ball from Phillip. And it's cleared out of play. End-to-end action at Shaw Field.
Yeah, and Donovan Phillip has been involved in both of the counters and attacks that NC State has had. He's got great size and pace and is as confident of a striker there is in the country.
Meanwhile, the long throw set up at Heffes. He's one of those New Hampshire transfers. Looping ball. Falls to Healy. Through space. Goal! Teg Healy! A 6-minute goal! His third of the year. Georgetown does not deal with the long throw, and NC State gets that early goal.
Yeah, and it's a second ball dropping to Healy, and Healy, who was so dynamic here a year ago, had assists on both of NC State goal. Today, ball pops to him on his left foot. Mansky's screened, and just a quality finish from Healy. And you mentioned Heffes is one of those transfers from New Hampshire. So is Healy. That is just through traffic, and as you watch that, Zach Zenge let Healy take a step into the box and didn't go with him, and that ball pops to Healy with no pressure. Talking to Coach Hubbard over the last 2 years, he had nothing but great things to say about his number 10, who he coached at New Hampshire, brought him down to Raleigh. And NC State, who has only conceded 7 goals all year, gets that really important first goal.
Healy, direct ball looking for Conde. Lampman's there. And thrown will be taken here by the All-ACC freshman team member Riley Maloney. Maloney actually will hand it to Heffes for a replay of how NC State just scored their other goal. We were talking about Maloney, the left back who's been terrific all season from England.
Yeah, great service from him, a really good left foot.
Heffes, similar throw. That time Zenge in the area where the ball popped out, nearly an identical play. NC State keeps the ball in. Howard and Ponce Ocampo clear, but only as far as McLean.
Yeah, and you're right, and Heffes will come over to the other side, right in front of the band, the Georgetown band, and Georgetown did better on that second ball, but they'll have to be clean and sharp dealing with second balls on these throw-ins and wide restarts all game long.
This time Heffes will go quickly to Healy. He'll get it back. Looping service. Caton heads it. Oh, and the ball, NC State wanted a handball. It hit Lampman. And then it squirts to Vieira. Now Barrios Cristales, missed touch. And Condi comes back to get it. Healy looking for Phillip. Lampman reads that. But you can see Healy always looking for those penetrating balls.
Yeah, and that's a really difficult run to deal with, and the official will take a look to see if it's a handball. And one of the things that I always look at is the reaction of the players. It wasn't one person. It was 4 or 5 NC State players immediately put their hand up.
Referee J.C. Griggs will take a look at this.
And we've talked about how good NC State is defensively. They've only conceded more than 1 goal this year as we take a look at this in 1 game.
It does hit an outstretched arm of Lampman.
Yeah, and that's Markovic. You can see the right arm from Lampman extended from his body.
He's trying to pull it in. But is it clear and obvious? A critical call here for J.C. Griggs. And no question, nervous moments here on the sideline. And Tom, the referees have the ability to look at this at a bunch of different speeds.
And it looks like with Lampman's arm that just extended from the body. This is an important call, and NC State gets the penalty call.
And in the 8th minute, NC State with an opportunity to find a second goal. And a Shaw Field crowd stunned right now as Healy and Phillip confer. And I think Lovelace also will.
Yeah, Drew Lovelace, 3 for 3 on the year. And Lovelace scored in the NCAA tournament game here at Shaw Field last year.
Lovelace, a senior from North Carolina. With the potential to send the nation's best defensive team to a 2-0 lead. In what would be a steep mountain for the Hoyas to climb. Lovelace shoots. Save Mansky, rebound, goal. It's Lovelace converting his own rebound after Mansky stopped the original. And NC State comes into Georgetown to take a 2-0 lead.
And you couldn't ask for a better start if you're NC State. What a great save from Mansky, but Lovelace first to the rebound, and NC State with 2 goals inside of the first 7 minutes here at Shaw Field. And Dan, for the second time after NC State has scored, we just saw as we see the replay of this great save. Mansky got low, but just no one in quick enough for Georgetown to deal with the rebound. But this is a confident NC State team, and you just mentioned it, the best defensive team in the country, have only conceded 7 goals all season. The only team to score more than 2 goals in a game against NC State was Syracuse in the ACC tournament.
And Tom, if you're Georgetown, what's the message right now from Coach Weiss to the 11 on the pitch?
Just totally settle down. There is so much soccer to be played. We haven't even played 7 minutes of this match, so Georgetown stays true to who they are, their process, continue to play. Chances will come, but you can't get it all back at once.
Tom, that man Logan Erb, an experienced player, will no doubt look at every one of these free kicks as a chance to take some time. And referee Griggs already warning him about it.
And one of the things to look at that you asked what Georgetown, the body language with fouls occurring here at midfield, some frustration. This is a spot that the Hoyas have not found themselves in. And a good look at Markovic, that great size. The sophomore wears the captain's armband.
Tom, I believe it's the first time since the opening game of the season that Georgetown's trailed by 2 goals. In that match, they trailed 2-0 at High Point, eventually got a late goal to lose 2-1. And Tom, NC State dominant in the air early.
Yeah, they're winning first balls. They're quicker to second balls in the midfield as well. The second ball on a box that resulted in Healy scoring the first goal. And one of the things you and I talked about right before the game started is when we were on the field, it was a very energetic NC State warm-up. Loud and boisterous.
Vieira battles Markovic, thrown for NC State deep in their defensive half. There he is, Riley Maloney. Takes a lot of the left-footed set pieces as well.
And Maloney, that freshman, but all sorts of experience growing up in England. And it is a shocked crowd at Shaw Field.
Markovich has a hold of Baker. These are interesting moments where referee J.C. Griggs is going to establish what kind of contact in that matchup is going to be allowed.
Yeah, and Baker, who's been on a tear, has great size, 6'5", but it is a really physical battle he'll be in against Markovich all game. And if the referee allows Markovich to get his hands into Baker, advantage NC State.
Hefes heads into the path of Vieira, but Maloney there. Lampman corrals. Phillips nearly takes it off his foot. Donovan Phillips been active.
He has, and it looks like he's got a great burst today.
Vieira picks up a loose ball. Now Zenge with space, looking for Baker, and a sliding challenge from Hefes.
A really desperate slide tackle from Hefes there as Georgetown found some space in the midfield, and NC State was out of shape.
Condi with Phillip. He'll get it to him. Phillip into the box against Stafford. And Ollie does well to dispossess.
Stafford does great to dispossess, but for Georgetown, not a good sign when NC State's winning those flick-ons and getting one-on-one opportunities in behind this back line of Georgetown. This is a Georgetown team who has been so good defensively in the air, but NC State has won almost every 50-50 duel in the air in this match so far.
Ponce Campo. Now Vieira. Ball cut across, falls to Vieira's drive. Is blocked by his own player, I believe.
Oh, and that ball falls to the senior Vieira, who hit it really well.
Then Vieira, good header above, finds Baker. Shot from distance. Comfortable save for Herb.
I think on that Vieira chance, it was Caton who actually did some really good work. Here, Baker, really hard to beat Herb from that distance. And as you pointed out, Logan Herb is making most of the time he can with the ball in his hands.
Zenge to Helfrich. Searching ball, looking for Baker. But Hefes and Maloney are there. And Tom, all the tickets besides this one now punched for the College Cup, and thus far all three road teams have won. Washington upsetting Maryland, and then St. Louis overcoming a 2-0 deficit to beat Akron late to join Furman, who beat Portland last night.
What a goal Furman scored in that match last night. And Zach Zenge, we talked about some of the frustration. Zenge finds himself in the referee's book.
I actually think that was Markovich. We'll have to get the official. It was Markovich for NC State getting that caution. So both of NC State's center backs on yellows right now. And against Mitch Baker, that will be a plot line.
Yeah, especially with how Markovich likes to play. He's very aggressive, stepping to the ball.
So Georgetown leading the nation in goals with 50 on the season. Can they find 2? Here's Zenge. Looking for Baker. Maloney's there. Disrupted by Helfrich, but able to clear.
A good few minutes from Georgetown as Zenge is finding really good pockets to play in.
Helfrich flicks to Vieira. Markovic comes over to head away and out of bounds. Georgetown's crowd starting to find the rhythm of this game after a stunning start. Goals from Healy and Lovelace. 2 players who featured in last year's NCAA tournament win from the Wolfpack. Barrios Cristales with it. Now Helfrich peels away. Oh, and then he and Barrios Cristales cannot combine. And this allows NC State what they want. Transition moments. Healy finds Phillip. Phillip looking for Condi. And NC State narrowly missing a connection there as they'll keep it inside.
Yeah, Georgetown completely out of shape on that counter, and it's Healy again springing Phillip. I'm actually surprised Conde didn't try to slide into that service from Phillip.
Shot from a narrow angle there by Tommy, I believe, goes over.
Yeah, Tommy coming forward from that right back position.
But that all starts from Helfrich and Barrios Cristales miscommunicating on the other end.
There's that Tommy strike from a wide angle. But NC State throwing numbers forward. Coach Hubbard has to be thrilled with the start of this match. Although I would say he's probably concerned that diamond midfield with Zenge finding pockets of space, able to run at his back line.
Ponce Ocampo, solid turn. Now Baker looking for Vieira. Calm defending from Hefes to Maloney. Caden surveys from the midfield. Phillip, great lead for Healy. NC State with pockets again. It's the dangerous Phillip shot. And Mansky got a right hand on that.
He did, but Phillip and Healy, the 2 stars for NC State, so sharp early on. Donovan Phillip, second in the country in goals. That's a wide angle. Mansky, no trouble dealing with that at his near post. But Georgetown will have to defend this corner, and as we've talked about, NC State has been dominant in the air.
And NC State dominant on the scoreboard as well in this first 17 minutes. This Tyler Caton will hit the in-swinger. Caton, the Missouri State transfer. Native of Surrey, England. Looping back post ball. Mansky punches away. And then Vieira plays back to Helfrich, whose clearance goes out of play. And every time a ball in the attacking third for NC State goes out, that means another chance for Hefes. Isaac Hefes with the long throw. Maroutsis heads out of play. Now Lampman gets to it. Ponce Ocampo wants it and he'll get it. Ponce Ocampo to the left, shot. Straight to Herb.
And it's interesting, one of the things we've seen on Shaw Field this year is teams countering against Georgetown when they've had corners or long throws. Georgetown, for the first time, did really well defending it the first and the second, and allows this opportunity for Ponce Ocampo. And then Herb not giving up the rebound in front of Zenge.
Zenge, a positive touch. And then he's fouled, that time by Caton. Maroutsis early to Ponce Ocampo, but J.C. Griggs will bring the ball back to the spot of the foul.
Yeah, it was probably 4 or 5 yards away and advanced up the field. Good idea from Marutzis. Zenge has won several fouls in the midfield and attacking third for Georgetown.
Goals from Teg Healy and then Drew Lovelace, who converted the rebound of his own penalty kick after it was saved by Mansky. That's the difference. Zenge and Ponce Ocampo combine. Ponce Ocampo cuts back to his right foot. Bodied up by Hefes. Hefes playing on a yellow. And then Mateo fouls him.
It's interesting, though. We saw that chance from Tommy early on for NC State, but Georgetown's exploiting some space in that pocket. That was Hefes having to come all the way out from his center back position in that one-on-one duel with Ponce Ocampo. Logan Erb transferred from San Diego State after the 2023 season. There is Zenge getting chopped down again.
And that may be the 4th or 5th foul suffered for Zenge on the day. That time it was McLean. And NC State playing with a bit of fire right now. And referee J.C. Griggs' discipline. But that's the only thing that hasn't gone right for the Wolfpack with that 2-0 advantage. Ponce Ocampo, early ball. Vieira and Erb off his line well.
Oh, great understanding from Erb. We talked about him transferring. And the Georgetown fans helping the official out. Give an account.
It's the old Carmelone free throw chant.
Alonzo Mourning.
Good student crowd starting to surround Shaw Field, and particularly behind Logan Erb's goal, Tom, but not much for them to cheer about.
No, it's been a fantastic start to this match for NC State. The 2 goals, but it's also the chances they're creating. Dynamic in the counterattack. Baker wins a foul.
Lukas Marutzis. Lukas played in the Olympiakos, the AEK systems in Greece. Youth international experience. He's been terrific. Georgetown without the services of Captain Diego Lataif for the last month of the season. And Marutzis has done very well, including scoring the game clincher in the conference tournament final.
This Georgetown team we talked about having not been in this position since their opening game of the year. They won the double in the Big East, the regular season and tournament champions.
Lampman out jumps Condi. But second ball won again. And Marutzis and Barrios Cristales collided there. Lucas, no worse for the wear.
Just a foul from Lovelace, and NC State frustrated with that call.
Baker layoff for Zenge. He'll cut back inside. Now Maroutzis, wide to Helfrich. Vieira in a pocket of space. Clips the ball to the back post. Baker's header just over. And then Vieira's offsides.
Vieira unlucky there, caught offside. Good movement there from the Hoyas, and Baker first to that half chance on this service from Vieira as it got deflected. But a really good effort from Mitch Baker, who's in just incredible form right now, the sophomore. 14 goals, top 10 in the country in goals scored.
And NC State coach Mark Hubbard will make the first 2 substitutions of today's match as Condi and the goal scorer Lovelace exit. It'll be Santa Maria and Payne who come in. Healy, good ball to Payne. And they'll win a corner.
And Santa Maria in his 6th collegiate season. Aiden Payne, good scoring punch off the bench for NC State with 3 goals and 3 assists this year.
Tom, both teams look very dangerous when they get the ball into their dangerous attacking players.
And talking to Coach Weiss, he said whoever has possession and can control possession will have the advantage because he thought both teams would cause problems when they had the ball.
Caton, near post ball, headed away by Baker. Tommy will recirculate. And Payne's header kept in play by Mansky. And then Donovan Phillip down behind the play.
I didn't see what happened to NC State's leading scorer, but looks like he's holding the left knee. Donovan Phillip, who had a great summer, led the USL 2 in goals scored.
And take a look at what happened here. Hard to tell. Both coaches using this opportunity to talk to their teams. Here in the 26th minute. Recapping the goals, it was Teg Healy scoring off a long throw. And then it was Drew Lovelace after Tate Lampman whistled for a handball. His initial penalty shot was saved by Mansky, but then the rebound came straight to him and he made no mistake.
Didn't, and Donovan Phillip, who is 2nd in the country in goals. Concerning moment for NC State and Coach Hubbard. She's up trying to put some weight on that left leg. And in 2 years, Mark Hubbard has gotten NC State back to the quarterfinals, the first time in over 3 decades.
And Donovan Phillip walking off without any assistance. We'll see if they choose to substitute him right now. No signal yet.
For Donovan Phillip, it was his performance in the NCAA tournament last year that started to give him all sorts of confidence, led into a great summer, and he's just continued that this year. And he has asked a lot of questions of the Georgetown back line today.
It looks like he will continue, even though still moving in a bit of a labored way. As he's motioned back onto the field. Zenge wide to Ponce Ocampo. Early ball's a good one. And the rebound ricochets off of Zenge. But as you said, Tom, the left side for Georgetown finding some space.
Yeah, that's another pocket of space. That was Ponce Ocampo from Zenge. Tommy's being drawn out of that position in the right back position, and Ponce Ocampo, who is so good with his off foot serving the ball into the box. That deflection could have gone anywhere. Unfortunately for NC State, fell right into Logan Erb's hands.
Meanwhile, another foul on NC State, an enormous foul disparity thus far. Bradley Maloney. Calum Tommy. Santa Maria. Good tackle fight. Lampman. Lampman continues his run and then loses possession to Phillip. Healy's going to try to track down a loose ball against Mansky.
And Healy can't believe that he didn't win a corner kick, as it looked like Mansky did get a foot to it.
But Phillip appeared to be moving just fine there, Tom.
And here we take a look. That ball goes off of Mansky's leg.
It'll be the first two substitutions for Georgetown of the match, as sophomore David Arrutia and sophomore Aiden Godinho enter, replacing Ponce Ocampo and Barrios Cristales. There's Aiden Godinho, sophomore from Florida. Godinho will partner Maroutsis in the pivot. Stafford longer ball. Markovic confident header backwards.
Yeah, Baker on his shoulder. Confident in his ability with his head, but also confident knowing that his goalkeeper will be positioned correctly.
Oh, Caton. Dangerous pass, but he did complete it to Tommy, to Heffes rather.
Yeah, Caton was under pressure a couple of times there.
Maroutsis will chase Caton to the corner. And then get a little too handsy with the NC State junior.
Yeah, and that was some experience from Caton in a really difficult position. Felt just a little contact and was going down immediately. You saw he's made a couple of hand gestures there to his teammates because he totally got away with one a few minutes ago.
Logan Erb, as you said earlier, transferred from San Diego State, originally grew up in Houston, Texas. And again, another first ball headwind by Phillip over Lampman that time. Healy's offsides.
Yeah, it's not just the first balls that NC State's on. They're getting the second balls, and it's allowing their deep-lying runs from the midfield from Healy. It's a little early on that one. That's something that Maroutsis and Godinho are going to have to get better on, is getting onto those second balls.
And the few touches of the first half for Eric Howard, a good one, finds Maroutsis. Now Stafford a touch forward to Helfrich. Vieira making a run to the corner flag, but read really well by Heffes. Baker, good touch away from pressure.
Best rhythm of the match right now for Georgetown.
Helfrich, good touch to Vieira. Urrutia looking for Vieira. Helfrich picks up a loose ball. Driven service headed away by Heffes. And Howard can't judge the rebound. Hoyas applying pressure at Zenge. He'll go wide to Helfrich. And then Helfrich and Marutzis can't complete it, but Georgetown pinning NC State in right now.
Yeah, this is the best soccer of the half for Georgetown recycling. This is about the third time they've recycled this attack.
Maloney bothered by Helfrich, but Erb able to get it. Dan Helfrich, Tom Greaser with you from Shaw Field. Stay with us at halftime where we'll have a few features, including an interview with former Georgetown captain Aiden Rocha. But the story here is 2 goals in the first 7 minutes of the match. Healy and Lovelace.
And it's an NC State team that came to Shaw Field last year in the NCAA tournament. Had a 2-0 victory, and while many of the players are different, it was a confident bunch coming into this match to start. And Dan, it's just not Logan Erb who's burning the clock. Phillip with that pressure allows the long throw. Heffes comes in, gets everyone organized. Markovic comes forward.
Heffes another long throw. Stafford won that one first. Hoya is able to clear the area. Helfrich does well to elude pressure. And Urrutia looping service. Georgetown uncomfortable in possession in tight spaces there.
Yeah, that was a hopeful ball from Urrutia, who's normally so composed on the ball.
Vieira with it. He and Tommy battle. Now Godinho. Vieira again, it's Urrutia. Howard finds Urrutia. Looping ball to the back post. Marutzis! It's a goal! It's a wonder goal for the great freshman! Have you ever seen a finish like that in your life?
Go ahead and have one, Marutzis, with an absolute bomb. First time volley. And what an important goal for Georgetown to cut the NC State lead in half. We talked about how important the freshman has been with the absence of Lataif, and he just scored the goal of his life.
Indeed it was. As we take a look at it, it's Helfrich who battles Maloney for it. And then Marutzis, Tom, that finish is outrageous.
Yeah, if you were given 100 of these looping out to you, hit on a full volley, not sure one of them is on target, but what a goal from the freshman. And this field started to tilt about 5 or 6 minutes ago, and Georgetown found a rhythm.
These last 11 minutes and change, suddenly very important here at Shaw Field. McLean looking for Payne. Helfrich intercedes. Mitch Baker looking for a loose ball, but Tommy does well. Now Caton directing traffic to Maloney. An extraordinary finish from Lukas Maroutsis just after midnight in Athens, Tom. And there were celebrations. And the complexion of the match, Tom, has now changed considerably. The dangerous Healy. Now Caton. Good build-up from the Wolfpack. It's Maloney. Riley Maloney. Errant service. And Howard collects. Tommy in a dangerous spot. Falls to Payne. Shouts for a handball again.
Yeah, NC State asking for a second handball. And the referee will look at this one. And again, NC State players immediately asking for it.
And referee J.C. Griggs, for the second time in the first half, is going to come over and look at a potential Georgetown handball. And the pensive looks on the faces of the Georgetown staff as Georgetown appeared to just change the dynamic of this match with Maroutsis' goal. So we'll take a look here in slow motion.
Oh, and it definitely hits an outstretched hand of Eric Howard.
And they'll ask for it at game speed.
As you see the left arm of Howard, Georgetown's first team all-conference left back. And I would be surprised if NC State isn't awarded their second penalty after seeing that.
And so, unfortunate hand placement again. And for the second time this half.
And Coach Weiss is in disbelief, but I think just seeing that arm extended, it's the correct call.
And NC State on the verge of getting a second first half goal, really from nothing on handballs, as the incredulous look on the face of Weiss.
Yeah, Coach Weiss just cannot believe the call. And it's an animated Coach Weiss.
And Tom, neither of these handballs on chances that we're going to create legitimate scoring opportunities, and it'll be the 6-year Carlos Santamaria who will take this against Mansky.
Santamaria with 1 goal on the season, but this will be his first attempt from 12 yards out.
Mansky saved the first penalty of this match, but the rebound fell right to Lovelace. It's senior versus senior. Santamaria scores. 3-1 the Wolfpack just 2 minutes after Georgetown cuts the deficit in half. NC State extends their lead. And for the first time all year, Georgetown's conceded 3 goals.
And what a calm finish from Santamaria. His second goal of the year. And you're right, it just felt with 11 minutes to go in this half, with the wonder strike from Maroutsis, that Georgetown had found something, but side netting on that penalty. And the Wolfpack, 3 goals in the first half against the Hoyas. It's Coach Weiss getting a further explanation, and he was upset and animated. it's just unlucky for Georgetown. I think when we watched it on both of those, it's hard not to give the penalty with the arm extended from both Lampman and Howard.
And that's as animated as you will see Brian Weiss.
Mansky guesses right again, but just a quality finish from the 6-year senior.
Several games worth of action, Tom, here in the first half. Markovic. Vieira on the rebound. His shot is blocked. Ball falls to Helfrich. And he's hit up high by Healy.
Yeah, and Healy very high on that challenge with Helfrich. Take a look at this challenge here. Oh, and it's just a forearm shiver to the back. I'm surprised Healy doesn't get a yellow card for that foul. But an opportunity for Georgetown with Zenge on the ball.
Zenge clips the ball to the back post. Lampman header! Oh, it's Tate Lampman, and the Hoyas have made this one of the best halves we've ever seen.
The sophomore center back with an absolute brilliant finish, but what a ball from Zenge, who with that assist is now tied for the points lead in the country.
And the resilience of this Georgetown team. Matty Helfrich draws the foul. Zenge, high quality service. And you can see Lampman's eyes get really big, Tom.
Yeah, Lampman with his second goal of the year just attacks that ball. That was in front of Lamai, the St. John's transfer who had just come in.
And we said the first time Georgetown all year had conceded more than 2, only the second time all year NC State has conceded 2.
Yeah, the only other time NC State has conceded more than 2 is that 3-0 loss against Syracuse, but the Hoyas respond again.
Meanwhile, the Hoyas make 3 substitutions, Tom, as Heaps, Logan, and Matthew Van Horn, who's been working his way back into fitness, enter. Call your friends and tell them there's an incredible match happening at Shaw Field right now. Georgetown, 2 unfortunate handball penalty kick goals conceded, and yet they're still in this game.
Yeah, the Hoyas find themselves down 2 goals 7 minutes in. And then with 9 minutes to go in the half, down 2 goals again as it was a 3-1 deficit.
And then Markovic, and this is a big moment, Griggs.
Markovic on a yellow card. We talked about the 2 center backs picking up early yellow cards.
And Griggs thought about it there. Markovic, a little hip check there. And there are referees who would have given a second yellow there. Helfrich to the end line. Early ball played out, but Georgetown on the front foot right now. Stafford looking for Heaps against Markovic. Helfrich wins the ball. Now Maroutsis. Helfrich again. Georgetown pinning the Wolfpack in right now.
Yeah, Georgetown has found a good rhythm and flow as this half has gone on. And it's a disjointed NC State back line right now.
But But number 10 in red, not disjointed. Teg Healy, every time he gets the ball, you can see the blood pressure rise on the Georgetown sideline.
Yeah, his head's up. He's looking to hit penetrating balls. But there, the experience to peel away and allow NC State to get some important possession.
Caden, good ball into that man, Healy. The weight is perfect. Does NC State have a fourth? They don't.
And that is a brilliant ball from Healy. He's been spectacular here today. Lamai unable. Touch lets him down in the box. Tries to cut back against Howard.
Lampman did a good job getting a little bit of a shoulder pressure there. Stafford caught in possession. He'll leave it for Maddie Helfrich.
That was, can't see it on your screen, but that was Markovich sucked way out of that center back position.
But Tom, we talked about it early and expected this would be a plot line. Both NC State center backs on yellows right now.
And they were both picked up in the first half of the half. And it's really hard in that position against dynamic attacking players. That one from Markovich, though, was an unforced error.
Loose ball falls to Van Horn, positive touch. But NC State, ball finds Lamai. Now Santa Maria, who scored the third, and now the winning goal as of now. But you have a feeling, Tom Greaser, there is more in this game.
Well, this game has been end-to-end from the opening whistle. Both teams with 6 shots on goal.
Tom, that's the 5th yellow of the season for Markovich to go along with 1 red card. Heffis, his partner in the back, his first yellow of the year. It's certainly Markovich that's the one with his brand of play that I'm sure Mark Hubbard's going to have to talk to at halftime about how he adjusts.
Yeah, that's a fine line, though, because he's physical. He loves winning challenges. I think for NC State, though, they've got to clean it up. Markovich and Heffis getting sucked out of the center of the park.
Healy, Lovelace, and Santa Maria, the goal scorers for NC State.
I'm talking to Georgetown head coach Brian Weiss before this match. He said, look, both teams, when they have possession, will cause trouble for the other team. I don't think he thought there would be 5 goals in the first half, but you are seeing both teams have spells of quality soccer and really dangerous attacking play.
Maroutsis can't connect with Helfrich, but Georgetown, as the half's worn on the right side, Tom, has become the focal point of their attack.
Yeah, and it's with Maddie Helfrich playing high. Good interplay with Maroutsis and Vieira when he was on.
Meanwhile, Maroutsis and Lampman, the goal scorers for Georgetown. Tim Logan's first touch. Now Van Horn. Van Horn, an exciting player. Bunch of injuries this year. But a wild card if he can get back into form. Heaps. Good hold-up play. Rather Logan, and it'll be a corner.
The first corner of the match for Georgetown.
A team who's in the top 8 in the country in that statistic. And it'll be David Urrutia. We might need an extra long halftime for highlights. Is there a 6th goal in this half? Sophomore David Urrutia. Dangerous near post ball, flicked around, falls to Van Horn. But Maloney forces him wide. Van Horn keeps it in play. Stafford to the end line. Good feet from Ollie Stafford. Good early ball. Headed away, but only as far as Howard. But now NC State in transition. Godinho disrupts well.
And it's great recovery from Godinho as NC State had some numbers forward.
Heaps battling Markovich well. We approach 30 seconds remaining. Good feet from Logan. Helfrich wants it and will get it. Helfrich will go one-on-one. Van Horn fell in the box. Stafford will clip a ball in looking for Heaps.
And the Georgetown coaching staff asking for a look from the referee, which I do not think they'll get.
And there was contact as the half ends with NC State.
And Matthew Van Horn pleading his case, and the Georgetown coaches can't believe there's not a review.
Well, there is everything to play for in the second half. 3 goals for the Wolfpack, 2 for the Hoyas, and a game every bit worthy of the NCAA quarterfinals. We'll see you back here in a few. Back at halftime at Shaw Field with a familiar face, Aiden Roach, a former Georgetown player, current Colorado Switchbacks player, and Aiden, a member of the 2019 national champion Georgetown team. We're going to get to that, but first, bring the group up to speed. How'd you get to Colorado, and how's it going?
It's going well, Dan. I appreciate you asking. Got drafted out of 2023 season, and spent my first year with Loudoun United, and I'll be in my 3rd year with the Switchbacks in the USL Championship next season.
Talk to us about the atmosphere at USL Championship. It appears to be growing, fan support growing. Is that what it feels like?
It does feel that way. Obviously, we have a long way to go in terms of building the infrastructure to get there, but the USL is growing, the stadiums are getting bigger, and the fan base is there, so it's a very exciting time for US soccer.
I want to talk about the 2019 team, but first, talk about the preparation of being a 4-year player at Georgetown for a pro career.
Yeah, it's huge. The big word that comes into play is development. That's exactly what Weiss and Co do here is they bring in players and they develop them. Whether you have a role, a bigger role, starting freshman year to senior year, it doesn't matter. You'll have a role eventually, and developing into that is huge.
2019, you're a freshman. You don't play a ton kind of sporadically throughout the year. Then you have some fun games. I remember a Providence game where you played quite well. And then suddenly you find yourself an important part of the team going into the NCAA tournament. What did that feel like?
It's what you prepare for, and like I said before with the development here at Georgetown with the staff, that's what they prepare you for. So you're ready to go once you step into that role.
An Elite 8 game at home. What's the feeling for the players as they got up this morning to prepare for a great atmosphere and one of the biggest games you've ever played in your life at Shaw Field?
Yeah, for multiple reasons it's more important. Every game in the NCAA comes with more importance, but like you said, this might be the last home or away game before the neutral site. And then for a lot of teams, this is a milestone, getting to the Final Four, getting to the College Cup. You know, this is the last game to do it.
Final thing, penalty kick, national championship on the line, Virginia, Georgetown, a young freshman, a local kid from around the D.C. area steps up to take it. Take us into that moment.
I blacked out. I don't remember much. I remember the ball going in and me yelling really loudly. A moment you never forget, though.
That's Aiden Rocha, 2019 national champion, current Colorado Switchbacks midfielder. Thanks, Aiden.
Thank you.
Back on 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey.
This team's been great. Like, we have really great chemistry on the field. You know, and like for other teams, it can be tough when you have such talented guys who kind of want to like have big egos and beat each other out. But like everybody's been able to put their egos to the side, and we all understand that we're working towards the same goal here.
Things that Hubs has always done very well with his teams, including UNH and down here. He gets some preseason, he is away, I don't know how he does it, but he gets teams together very quick. And it's hard because when you have half the guys that have been here and half new guys, there's sometimes a disconnect. But yeah, these first few weeks I've genuinely really enjoyed, obviously on the field, but like off the field, the groups are fun.
You know, our motto this year is carry the culture. So the guys that were there last year with the coaches, we set a culture, and we just brought the new guys in, and honestly, they're all bought in on and off the field.
Definitely one of the pillars and things we kind of talk about is having fun. There's no sense in spending a lot of time doing this every single day if you can't have some fun with it. And I think that stems to off the field how we treat each other and within our locker room environment and culture, but also in the way that we play.
No, I'd say the culture is we have an identity, let's say on the field, an identity to dictate the game. So we're going to decide what goes on in that field, keep the ball. We know how we are, an aggressive team. But off the field, also being a family, because fighting for each other on the field doesn't come from nothing. It comes from being close to the guys, appreciating everybody, and that's going to make you want to fight for the guys.
Welcome back to Shaw Field halftime. NC State 3, Georgetown 2. Announcers hyperventilating 2. And Tom Greaser, it was end-to-end from moment one.
It was. We talked about this being an Elite Eight game, but the quality could be a national championship, and what a bright start for NC State. Their senior, Taeg Healy, gets onto a second ball, and the Wolfpack were cruising after this handball.
VAR called the handball. Lovelace penalty saved by Mansky. And then you think at that point, Tom, NC State, the best defensive team in the country, they'll cruise. Well, Arrutia, Helfrich, and then Marouzis.
With the goal of his life, the freshman with just pinging that ball out of the air. And less than a minute later, a second handball, and Santa Maria steps up and calmly puts NC State back in front by 2 goals.
But Zange and Lampman said, we want this to feel really exciting going into the second half, and they obliged.
Yeah, not many people would have guessed that there would have been 5 goals combined in this game, much less the first half. And it was entertaining from the start. 9 shots for NC State, 8 for Georgetown. The 2 big yellow cards for NC State's center backs. We mentioned it when they picked them up, and Markovic was fortunate not to get a second one, and it's really challenging as center backs on a somewhat soft field against dynamic attacking players to not get caught in another bad challenge.
So 45 minutes left, or potentially a little bonus action depending on how things play out. And Tom, as we always say in these NCAA tournament elimination games, these are the moments left in the season and in the careers of the many seniors playing roles for both these teams. And Tom, it looks like 2, and as we said during the broadcast, this is the 4th and final berth. The Billikens of St. Louis, the Paladins of Furman, and the Huskies of Washington all going on the road. Can the Wolfpack complete the most unlikely of 4 away teams winning quarterfinals, or can the Hoyas complete their comeback? Foul whistled early on McLean. Tom, Georgetown going with 2 substitutions, 2 of the substitutes starting the half as Godinho replaces Marouzis.
And since Latif went down with that injury, this has been the rotation for Coach Weiss. And talking to him about it, he said it's allowed the guys to know their roles, to know when they're going to play. as Lovelace got caught in a challenge with Zenge.
The other substitute is Matthew Van Horn continuing. Ponce Ocampo is out as we take a look at Lovelace and Zenge getting tangled up. Meanwhile, Mark Hubbard has gone for the first time today to Frankie DiFrancesco. As Phillip getting a rest, DiFrancesco will pair Condi up top.
And Condi was dangerous in his shift in the first half.
Tommy's clearance. Now Caton. Maloney, who hasn't gone forward much today, Tom. The left back for NC State. Who has 8 assists on the season.
Yeah, and several of them coming from restarts and from the corner. He's got that great left foot. Talking to Coach Hubbard before the game, this spell of possession is something that he talked about that he thought would be important, kind of dictating the possession and slowing it down. But in that first half, it was just frantic end-to-end action.
Recapping the scoring, 6-minute Healy from Heffes and Phillip. Lovelace on the rebound of a penalty in the 8th minute. Marutsis, assist credited to Urrutia and Helfrich. Santa Maria on a penalty kick, and Lampman on an assist from Zenge. That's how we got to this 3-2 score line. Howard able to keep it in play to Vieira. Finds Van Horn with a pocket of space. Van Horn will peel away. Barrios Cristales. Oh, and Tommy read that ball well. And then gets behind Barrios Cristales. The ever-dangerous Healy.
And Caton, who's just on the ball right there, is Georgetown's had success with this diamond midfield shape, and Caton now dropping back deep in possession. But Zenge, I think, as Georgetown got better in the first half, was finding good pockets, and early on we saw Van Horn find that same area of space that you can exploit against this NC State defense.
Howard early ball, but Caton read it well. Caton's such an important part of shielding the back four. Temperature of the game a little lukewarm to start the second half after an extraordinary first half of action. Eric Howard finds Vieira. Vieira fouled by Condi from behind. And Tom, we talked off the air at halftime. We think J.C. Griggs, the center official, is going to play an important role in the second half of this match.
Yeah, he's already has. I mean, the 2 penalties, which he didn't call either one of them in live action, went to VAR, and both were clear to us as handballs. The challenging call that he didn't make was that foul on Markovic right in front of the Georgetown bench, and the ACC Defender of the Year, who is on a yellow.
Helfrich finds Van Horn. Now Barrios Cristales. Helfrich. Barrios Cristales. Looping service to Vieira. Oh, and great hands from Logan Erb.
Yeah, Erb has been great in this match. Controls his box, and we were talking about at halftime, you see this ball served in from Cristales, and that is a really good win from NC State's goalkeeper. But Logan Erb stayed out the entire halftime, staying warm, having shots hit at him, different services. Healy is fouled.
And an NC State team very dangerous on restarts. Has a chance here, and they'll send Markovic forward.
And Heffes, good targets those center backs.
And Godinho just the arm extended as the student crowd surrounding Shaw Field continues to swell. It's Caton to the back post over everybody. Markovich will track it down near the corner flag. Healy, dangerous ball. Here's a moment of chance in Mansky. A save on Condi.
Healy is seeing the field so well. As that ball comes to him, he already knew where the options were and talked about it in the first half. The weight of his passes are so good, and there's good feet from Condi in the box.
Condi yet to score on the season. Lovelace wide to Maloney. Now McLean. Heffes going all the way back to Erb. Tom, Georgetown hasn't been able to get Mitch Baker involved in this game.
Yeah, it was a very quiet half for Georgetown sophomore striker. Just not much service. Credited with one shot, but it was really a half chance from about 25 yards.
Condi out-muscles Vieira.
Condi, one of the 4 transfers from New Hampshire. Great experience also in his 6th year of college soccer.
Wry smile there from Callum Tommy. Tommy started all 19 matches this year in which he's played. Third minute, Tom Greaser and Dan Helfrich with you. NC State has twice had 2-goal leads. Georgetown's come back both times to cut it to the 1-goal margin. But they'll need at least one more.
They will, and on that long ball from Erb, Lampman wins the first ball. Georgetown struggled doing that, but it was Lovelace getting on to the second one. I just think that's been a key to this match, is NC State getting on second balls. It's how they scored their first goal. They were really good in the first part of that first half when Conde and Phillip were up top.
Conde whistled for his 3rd foul of the early moments of the second half.
Conde saying that Georgetown defenders were draped all over him.
Tate Lampman, who, the center back who had Georgetown's second goal on a terrific header. Howard can't keep it in to Baker. Isaac Heffes. The long throw, Tom, a weapon defensively as well, as he can
clear some lines here or switch the point of attack.
Terrific awareness there from Heffes and Markovich.
Yeah, they have a wonderful partnership watching them, and they're both very confident heading the ball back to Erb. The 3 of them, great understanding positionally of where all should be.
Healy, terrific ball out wide. It's Maloney, early ball, blocked by Helfrich.
Yeah, but Healy's finding these pockets and able to hit really good balls with his left foot.
Godinho clears in the direction of Baker. Good hold-up play from the Australian. Georgetown has numbers up the left side. Godinho, an early ball looking for Vieira. Tommy reads it well. and then peels away from the pressure of the Georgetown senior, and then
we were talking about the confidence of Hefis and Markovic there. Tommy totally under control after a wonderful recovery run. Scadino actually played a great ball to Vieira.
Either team with a quality chance here early in the second half. Herb's seen a lot of the ball with his feet. Baker puts him under pressure, and his sliding challenge in a tough area on the field.
Yeah, and NC State's bench erupt on that challenge. Baker tried to put Herb under pressure here. Ooh, and those studs were up for Baker.
And Tom, you can see what Baker saw. He thought he had a chance to block that Herb clearance, but a clear yellow card.
Yeah, Mitch Baker was a fraction late on that, and the studs were up on Herb.
So Baker, the first Hoya to be cautioned. Herb will restart play with the Georgetown students not only present but vocal. Little pots and spoons action, Tom.
Yeah, it looks like there were some pots and spoons. Made famous the '94 season for Georgetown, their first ever trip to the NCAA tournament.
Condi, Healy over.
Oh, and that's a good deep run from Healy there. Always wanted it on his left foot, though. Here, if he thinks back to this, if he can actually take a touch away from traffic, just such a tough skill to hit that one first time.
The weight of Condi's passes have been very good. Baker finds Van Horn, who has energy. Now Howard, one of Eric's first runs into the attacking half, but Tommy read it. And Tom, one of the decisions facing Mark Hubbard heading into this half was how long will you give Donovan Phillip on the bench? The answer is about 12 minutes as he readies to re-enter.
And his partnership with Conde was dangerous in the first half.
Here's Condi in a dangerous spot. And his shot just over Mansky's goal. Georgetown fails to apply pressure, and Ibrahim Condi.
Yeah, Condi's been so bright today for NC State. And look, it's 4 touches right up the gut. No one steps to the ball, and Condi hit it well.
Frankie DiFrancesco will exit. As Phillip re-enters. So Hubbard pleased to get a quick spell of rest for Phillip.
Yeah, it's really about 20 minutes of game action. Came off late in the first half as well. Last 8 minutes on the bench in the first half for the nation's second leading goal scorer.
Van Horn, a good turn after a ball from Stafford. He's joined by Helfrich. Stafford continues the run. Helfrich dribbles into pressure and concedes possession in a bad area. But Stafford equal to the task. Barrios Cristales. Now Zange leaves it for Van Horn. And he slips and can't get a shot off. And Godinho sells out. But Phillips one-on-one against Howard. Donovan Phillip against Eric Howard.
And good recovery run from Georgetown to get numbers behind the ball. NC State missed a chance there with Tommy streaking down the right side.
Isaac Heffes into the Georgetown defensive third. Concedes possession. Vieira outside of the right foot ball to Baker. Baker will continue his run against Heffes.
It's really important defending there from Heffes, but I was watching Coach Hubbard on that sequence. As Tommy goes forward, the shape of the defensive back line of NC State was all discombobulated. Coach Hubbard was pleading for players to come back and give that defensive presence and keep that shape, because it was a 2-on-2 with Baker and Zenge.
Ponce Ocampo and Marutz, two of the heroes in the Big East tournament, re-enter for Coach Weiss as Baker battles near the corner flag. Howard an early ball. Vieira will track it down. Max Vieira. Now Zenge. The senior Vieira, early ball looking for Baker.
Oh, and Baker was held up by Heffes, and the Georgetown fans.
Meanwhile, Phillip against Howard. And I think referee J.C. Griggs will take a look at the contact that was in the Georgetown penalty area.
It was Heffes and Baker kind of in a wrestling match as the ball was served in.
It was Vieira on the right side that clipped it in. And J.C. Griggs, his third trip to the review box.
I don't think this one will be as clear as the two handballs. They were Baker and Heffes.
And you can see why Baker reacted the way he did. Heffes got really low.
Yep.
And it's an interesting decision here because it's not a play on the ball, but I don't think Baker was going to be able to get to that.
Yep. And just not enough in it. Coach Weiss, arms in the air. Can't believe his fortune to this point on those VAR reviews.
And you can read Brian Weiss's lips. He says he's bear hugging him. I think Heffes released that bear hug very quickly, Tom.
Yeah, you're right, though. He just got low, so Baker didn't have a chance to jump.
Helfrich is taken down by Maloney cynically.
And now 3 of the 4 starting defenders for NC State are in the book.
And I think that also was a good yellow decision by Maloney, as Helfrich had taken a really positive touch past him.
Yeah, right off the chest. It was going to get to the end line.
Matty, a 7 safety roll after the foul, making sure that Maloney ended up in the caution book.
This is similar to the area where Georgetown got their second goal with Zenge on the ball.
Baker and Lampman among the targets. Zach Zenge among the nation's leaders in assists.
And you can see the hand close to right around Baker's number 9.
Zenge clips a dangerous ball headed away. Howard with it. And they'll recycle through Helfrich. And a poor ball from Helfrich, miscommunicating with Godinho.
Yeah, and on that defensive sequence. It was NC State's leading goal scorer winning that ball in the air. A referee seeing what NC State did in the first half very quickly to stop the clock as the ball went out of bounds.
So 3 video reviews for penalties today. NC State earning 2, Georgetown not earning the 3rd. As Maroutsis outduels Healy, but the foul whistled.
And the referee was 2 yards from it. Had a great look at it. It's an easy call. The referee, you can see, in great position, 3 yards behind it. Maroutsis' leg just gets tangled up with Healy. Healy, NC State's number 10, has been so fantastic tonight.
NC State will win a throw in their attacking half.
And I think for NC State, they love the rhythm of this second half.
Zange challenges Heffitz, and the whistle Zach for a foul.
It's a difficult position Heffitz found himself in, with Zange applying a lot of pressure. He was comfortable and composed, did enough with his body to ward off Zange.
Tenzing Mansky, Georgetown's senior goalie, collects and is hoping that his teammates can find him an equalizer. Three of NC State's 4 defenders on yellow cards right now. Healy in another pocket of space. Finally, Maroutsis dispossesses. And Lampman pressure forces NC State backwards. Stafford early ball, chested down by Baker. Overlap coming from Vieira. Early ball into a pocket. Good rhythm from the Hoyas. It's Baker. Left-footed shot. It's blocked.
Oh, and I actually think that might have hit Zange, who was making a good diagonal run. You can see Zach Zange, the senior, applauding that attack from Georgetown.
Really good combination among Vieira, Zange, and Baker there. Started with a good chest from Baker. Found his way more into the match, the sophomore from Australia.
Yeah, and that will be hugely important for Georgetown.
Cadinho loses his footing. Healy is going to want to go left. Shot!
Conde blocked that one as well. Healy was searching for the far post.
Cadinho trying to spring Zange. He'll get to it first. Quick feet from Zange against Heffis. Triple team coming. He finds Gadinho. Aiden Gadinho, the sophomore. Maroutsis has it. Shot from distance, just wide. And Maroutsis hit that one cleanly as well.
Yeah, Maroutsis feeling good about it. Finds himself 25 yards from goal. Hit it wide. The last couple of minutes have been end-to-end like the first half was. And here, this is that chance from Healy. This blocked by Conde there. He was looking to curl that one to the far post. And the response immediately, that ball is knuckling and moving and swerving.
Caton sprawled on the field. Tyler Caton, the Missouri State transfer, native of Surrey, England. And referee J.C. Griggs pointing to Caton, signaling to Georgetown that the next foul on Caton will be a caution. Persistent infringement on an individual player.
And NC State has milked this for all they can. You mentioned, though, how important Caton is. Plays in that base of that diamond defensively, right in front of Hefis and Markovich.
Midway through the second half, no goals in this half, 5 in the first. Healy, Lovelace, and Santa Maria, the goal scorers for NC State. Maroutsis and Lampman for the Hoyas. Zangeg, positive touch. And he's taken down by Caton, and Caton will get a yellow card.
Well, and this is in a really dangerous spot. Zach Zenge has the quality to score from this distance, and this entire play was Zenge getting first to the ball.
And that one an easy yellow card call.
Yeah, Zenge peels away from Caton and is running at the back line. What a great opportunity for Georgetown.
Probably only a couple yards further from where High Point's Jefferson Amaya scored on Shaw Field last week.
NC State with a four-person wall. This is a tough one for Herb because Zenge, he likes to shoot from here, but we've seen him clip it to the back post as well.
It's a shot, just wide. Herb, I think, had it covered.
Yeah, with that four-person wall, that side that Zenge tried to go to is all Herb, and hit it hard. But ball always going away from target.
Helfrich's chest down. Oh, nearly connects with Zenge. But here comes Tommy up the right side. Lampman sends Heffitz backwards. Now Herb. Maroutsis will pick up the loose ball. It's Vieira. NC State out of shape.
Yeah, just miscommunication from Herb and Hefis.
Hoyas elect to go early. Helfrich finds Maroutsis. Herb nearly spills it.
Oh, and Georgetown goes early, and you can see Herb. That entire sequence starts. Hefis didn't communicate well, and this is just a good sequence. Helfrich finds Maroutsis hard across the goal mouth. That Baker was lurking at the back post.
Condi fouls Howard.
Dan, still a lot of time left in this match.
There are certainly chances left in this match. But can Georgetown find a third past Logan Herb? Only one team's done it all year. Ponce Ocampo gets behind Tommy. He'll find Helfrich. Chest now Vieira. Oh, and a good piece of defending there.
Yeah, Justin McLean has done a lot of good work off the ball for NC State.
Tom, really interesting decisions as we approach 20 minutes remaining in terms of substitutions for both coaches. Capacity crowd at Shaw Field urging the Hoyas on. Heffetz will go backwards to Erb. And then just clear it up the field. Ponce Ocampo will track down the second ball, but never quite got a hold of it. Now Phillip does well to hold up play for Condi. And then Lampman, a late challenge on Caton.
Yeah, I think that was Lovelace who got chopped down from Lampman. It was Caton with his head up and just step late for Lampman.
That'll be Lovelace's last action of regulation.
And Tate Lampman, the sophomore center back, widely acclaimed as one of the best center backs in the country.
NC State working seconds off the clock, ringing them off the Shaw Field scoreboard every one of these restarts. Zange with it. And they'll whistle a foul on Zange there, and as he and Tommy collided, both selling out.
They were, and the service from NC State was not good enough, and Georgetown almost able to break out of this as Zange first to it with the head and then just runs right through Tommy as that last offender.
Two seniors who do not want this to be their final match. Maloney looks for Phillips. Condi on the rebound, and that was a clean chance he hit over.
Yeah, I think Condi was surprised that ball bounced to him. It's Phillip again causing havoc in the air. And this second ball, Condi just, technique lets him down there, leaning back the entire way. You just want to put your laces through the ball, land on that shooting foot.
Markovich finds Caton. You can see, Tom, the student crowd enormous here at Shaw Field. Five deep. We're about 2/3 of the field. Howard will chase down the loose ball. Sophomore from Washington. His hometown State University, the University of Washington, already punching a ticket to the Final Four today. Baker gets behind Markovich. He'll go wide, it's Helfrich. Shot is blocked. Rebound falls to Maroutsis. Now Vieira.
That was a moment where Mitch Baker was isolated on Markovich one-on-one. We've talked about the ACC Defender of the Year on that yellow card. Had to be very careful dealing with Baker.
Helfrich and Vieira. Cross easily caught by Erb. Georgetown, no runners there. But Georgetown certainly more on the front foot right now. Substitution will be Aiden Payne replacing Ibrahim Kandi. And Tom, you see the Georgetown coaches conferring. What are they likely discussing?
Oh, it's what you talked about with the substitutions. Is there someone on the bench they think can come in and be a spark in the last 15 minutes? Or is this the 10 on the field that Coach Weiss will go with?
Zange has it. He'll try to spring Ponce Ocampo, but Tommy, another positive defensive action for him.
Ball just got caught on Zange's foot for one too many touches, allowed Tommy to recover.
Tommy hoofing the ball forward. Lampman, good directional header to Howard. Godinho with it. Great defensive work from the substitute Payne.
Yeah, fresh legs. It's one of the reasons Coach Hubbard brought him on.
Is there a hero on the hilltop for Georgetown who could send this game to extra time? Georgetown, the leading pairing in goals in the country, Baker and Zange. Neither has scored yet today. Good interchange between Howard and Ponce Ocampo. Diagonal ball's a good one to Helfrich. Positive first touch. Clips the ball to Baker. Header off the post.
Oh, and what a brilliant ball from Ponce Ocampo. And then Matty Helfrich spies Mitch Baker, the sophomore, with a perfectly weighted service, and Baker can't keep it on target.
Was that the chance? Helfrich picks his head up after a really good first touch.
Great ball in between both of NC State's center backs, and it just hits the outside of the post.
Maroutsis. Ponce Ocampo with space. Zange wants it. And Herb off his line.
You could see the idea from Ponce Ocampo, but Logan Herb read that the entire way. Zange's run was too wide for that ball to work.
How many more chances are left in this match? As Baker's best chance of the game just moments ago skimmed the post. Howard, good ball to Ponce Ocampo. Looked like he was fouled, and they will call it.
Yeah, the AR saw that one as Ponce Ocampo, after he played the ball, is fouled.
Brian Weiss gesticulating angrily to referee J.C. Griggs. Stafford, good interception. Howard was looking for the long diagonal again. Georgetown, good energy right now. But if they're going to win, it's going to be find a third goal against the best defensive team in the country.
Yeah, coming into this match, NC State only conceded 7 all season.
Hoyas, unfortunate 2 handballs in the box on deflected shots. And Caton, who's on a yellow, takes Zenge down. Animated on the benches and in the crowd as Helfrich and Vieira combine.
Oh, and Vieira whistled for a foul. Unfortunate. It's Riley Maloney, the freshman. Just Vieira right through his back. So with 10 minutes to go, as this half has gone on, Georgetown has found really good areas to play in the attacking third.
And Tom, this break essentially serving as a timeout for both coaches.
Yeah, and I think for Coach Weiss, it's just reminding his team to stay committed to how they play. They're creating chances. We saw that one from Baker a few minutes ago. It's Maloney jogging off the field. No problem. And I think for Coach Hubbard, it's trying to remind his team to stay more disciplined with their defensive shape right now. We've seen Tommy make these long runs forward, but there's huge gaps when Georgetown can switch the point of attack. And for NC State, they can hold on in the next 10 minutes. This will be their second ever trip to the College Cup and the first one in over 30 years. The Georgetown Hoyas under Coach Weiss, if they can find an equalizer here, trying to go to their 4th College Cup.
Logan Erb, one of the protagonists of this match. Meanwhile, head injury substitution, Caden Tolentino will come in for the first time today. I think Maloney will be allowed to re-enter, but only on a dead ball. And this will be that dead ball. And a reminder, the substitution rules. If the team leading inside the last 15 minutes substitutes, the clock stops. And the winner of this match joins Furman, Washington, and St. Louis, the unlikeliest of College Cups.
Yeah, over the last several years, you've seen a number of programs advance to the College Cup and win it. Last year, Vermont. You've seen Marshall go on and win it.
NC State wins a throw deep in Georgetown's end.
Yeah, and here Heffis stays home, who's taken all these long throw-ins, and it's exactly what we had talked about for Coach Hubbard. Just keep the defensive shape.
The seconds drip off the clock. Phillip does well, and a double deflection gives Georgetown a chance to reset with a throw-in. Godinho. I think Georgetown Tom will want to switch the field if they can. That's where they've created chances when they move it on the diagonal from one side to the other.
Yeah, it can be a one-time ball like we saw from Ponce Ocampo, or just a quick play through the center of the midfield. Because NC State is very aggressive attacking the ball.
Helfrich finds Maroutsis. Now Vieira. Caught in between decisions there. Phillip now. It's an experienced NC State team who's played and protected a lot of leads late in matches this year.
Yeah, and they recognize that every pass they complete right now, they're one pass closer to advancing to the College Cup.
And one of those substitutions will be David Urrutia for Brian Weiss. He'll replace Max Vieira. And Vieira hoping his teammates can find an equalizer to keep his terrific Georgetown career.
NC State doing a really good job, just compact, keeping Georgetown pinned in on this far touchline.
Baker heads to Zange. Good touch from Zange. Erb off his line. Straight up in the air. Godinho misjudges. Now Ponce Ocampo, a positive touch. No one can get a hold of it in the midfield. Stafford does well to possess as Caton
behind the play.
Behind the play. Helfrich, good switch to Howard. Howard moves forward. Georgetown will win a throw. And the clock is stopped as
that is Caton again, who was caught in a challenge behind the play. Looked like he banged knees. As we talked about, Caton, so important to this NC State defensive shape.
Mark Hubbard ready. We'll take a look at the end of this last play.
I think that was from the play before that Caton was down, but Georgetown fans trying to give some energy to that man's side.
Recapping how we got here, Teg Healy in the 6th minute for NC State, Lovelace in the 8th minute for NC State, then Maroutsis, a all-world volley to make it 2-1. Unfortunate for Georgetown fans, handball that happened just after, allowing Santa Maria to finish to make it 3-1, and then Lampman a header to make it 3-2. No goals in the second half. And this restart will begin with a throw-in from Eric Howard on Georgetown's left side. As an outstanding crowd hoping for moments of drama. Maroutsis finds Helfrich. Helfrich looping ball, looking for Baker. And then Lampman collides into Erb as Helfrich found Baker for the second time in the half.
Yeah, and Heffis did just enough to get into Baker's body. So those two have been involved in Baker with good strength there, but unable to keep that one on frame. And the foul from Lampman allows precious seconds to run off of this clock.
The clock has kept running this entire time. Ended up being about a 55-second, approaching a full minute. Lukas Maroutsis. And then Caton, Tom, his leg buckled again. And I think he will not be able to continue after this.
And Coach Hubbard has had two guys ready to go in case, and
crowd and the Georgetown staff very frustrated by the gamesmanship from NC State, but I think the referee in this case doing the right thing.
yeah, it's the second time he's gone down without contact, and look, the clock stopped, and it allows Coach Weiss to get his team together, give them some instructions and motivation in the last 4 minutes to see if the Hoyas can find an equalizer.
It appears it'll be the St. John's transfer, Thomas Lamai, who will be called upon by Mark Hubbard here to try to close out the last 4 minutes and 18 seconds that stands between NC State and their first College Cup in more than 30 years.
Yeah, and Lamai, who's a two-time All-Big East performer at St. John's, all sorts of experience coming on late in this contest.
An NC State team that was ranked #1 for much of this year. A Georgetown team that started their year 0-2 and has worked their way back to winning both the Big East regular season and tournament title.
Yeah, and this NC State team went the first 9 games of the year without conceding a goal. One of the main reasons that they were #1, and you can see the emotions from Caton, unable to continue.
And I think that emotion, Tom, is he felt something that he thinks is unlikely to allow him to play in the College Cup if NC State advances.
And it's the second time in a few minutes where there's no contact. And Tyler Caton went down, and
it'll be Tolentino also coming in as Teg Healy exits.
Tolentini wears the captain's armband, one of the great leaders on this team, Coach Hubbard said.
Howard a ball looking for Zange. Second ball. Falls to Lampman. Stafford has space. Less than 4 minutes. Ollie Stafford. Now Matty Helfrich. NC State in the lowest block they've been in all day.
Yeah, all 10 behind the ball, and Georgetown will have to be sharp and quick to break this down.
Helfrich early ball looking for Baker.
Yeah, but that was Markovich first to it. Helfrich has picked out Baker on 2 occasions now here late in this match.
Santa Maria, turnover. And then a foul whistled on Georgetown.
Right in front of the Georgetown students, it looked like, as Lampman does a great job, Helfrich looked to be fouled first and then whistled for a handball when the foul wasn't called.
Oh, and Tom, that did look like a foul on the replay.
Yeah, in real time and the replay.
Godinho chest down. Georgetown forced backwards by the clearance of Markovich. Stafford a confident touch. Less than 2 minutes stand between Mark Hubbard and his first trip to the College Cup. Godinho finds Maroutsis. 90 seconds remain. Helfrich to the corner flag. That's going to be too far for everybody. And that'll allow precious time off the clock.
Oh, and then Logan Erb let that ball run right by him, so the referee stops the clock.
And Weiss, a late attacking substitution as Sada Paz replaces Helfrich.
And so Georgetown with 3 in the back now, but only minute 19 left.
Lampman to Howard. Howard to Zenge. But Tolentino, a good interjection, and then Howard will get whistled for a yellow card, and the referee does well to keep the clock running here, which is at his discretion.
Tolentino with a really important win as Zenge was looking to peel away.
Will Georgetown even touch the ball again? Finally, the clock is stopped with 34.8 seconds.
And NC State will just play this one to the corner flag, see if they can burn time.
Stafford hoofs it forward, looking for Baker. Clearance is going to bounce in a tricky spot for Georgetown, and Phillip does really well. And NC State, Tom Greaser, is about to come into Shaw Field for the 2nd consecutive year.
All credit to Coach Hubbard, advancing to the first College Cup in over 30 years, and it will be a home one for NC State, as it will be in Cary, North Carolina.
Final seconds, and there'll be a handball whistled and a clock stoppage.
Well, and this will allow Mansky to come forward, get everyone in the box. The NC State coaches can't believe the clock was stopped, but is their last second drama on Shaw Field.
So 3.5 seconds left. Is that enough time to get an attempt on goal. And the referee signals he wants to look at something. Might be the clock. Actually, know if this is reviewable.
Yeah. Allows Coach Weiss to give some last-second instructions to Urrutia, who will be tasked with serving this ball in.
So referee J.C. Griggs. Not. And this is a review. We're getting confirmation for the clock.
To see how much time is left when the handball occurred.
Georgetown, who lost a game on a very late restart against Denver. And now J.C. Griggs, after a conversation with Mark Hubbard, is going to go back to the clock. We'll go back to the video.
Currently, the scoreboard on Shaw Field says 5.9, but we haven't gotten confirmation of that yet.
This is like one of those.
So,
NC State asking for a review apparently of other stoppages.
Probably when Howard got booked for a yellow card. When the referee initially whistled.
And J.C. Griggs is going to bring Brian Weiss and Mark Hubbard together.
Before the clock started from the 15.9, and the other was 5.9. So we're going to go back to 3.9 to where it is. So, how much of you review? You want to review all the time? Just sit and listen on the ball on their goal kick. He's saying it's
There will be 3.9 seconds left when this conversation is over.
I think what happened is when Eric Howard was issued a yellow card, the scoreboard operator, as is customary, stopped the clock, didn't see the signal instantaneously to continue the clock because the team that was behind committed the foul. And so after all of that, it's 3.9 seconds in an ending that will be on the foot of David Urrutia. Urrutia to try to clip a ball into the box. Driven ball, falls to a good spot. The shot is aimless, and NC State celebrates on Shaw Field for the second consecutive year, and they'll go back to the state of North Carolina to look for a national championship on a day of shockers in college soccer. All four away teams winning.
And all credit to NC State. 2 goals in the first 7 minutes of this contest. And then just a stout defensive performance in the second half to allow them to advance. And they will play against St. Louis in Cary, North Carolina, right down the street from their campus.
There'll be a lot of red in that crowd in Cary. Georgetown season, Tom Greaser, ending, and the careers of some of the most accomplished players in Georgetown history ending as well.
Yeah, it's always a tough moment, especially for the seniors, but it was a fantastic career. Georgetown with back-to-back doubles in the Big East, but heartbreak on Shaw Field for the consecutive years against NC State.
For Tom Greaser, I'm Dan Helford saying so long from Shaw Field, where the final score is NC State 3, Georgetown 2. All games airing on the ESPN Networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.